guys, I'm Kimberly from Sqaure Shop, and today we're making the Autumn Stars quilt pattern. It's completely free, which is totally awesome. It finishes at 60 by 72, and it uses the Sqaure Shop half rectangle ruler, and you're gonna love it. So subscribe to our channel, and let's get started. So let's talk about the fabric requirements for this quilt. Here are the 4 different blocks we're going to make. They're identical, but each block has 1 background and 1 print. So from 4 backgrounds, you need 1.5 yards each. From 4 prints, you need 1.25 yards each. From your setting rectangles, which are at the top of some of the rows, you need 1/2 yard. You'll need 3/4 yard for binding, 4 yards for your backing, and you definitely need the half rectangle trimmer, and that's going to make these beautiful points. So like I showed you in the quilt, each block uses 1 background, 1 print. To start the first block, we're going to take a fabric B and a fabric F rectangle. And following the pattern, on step 1, we're going to draw a line from the bottom left to the top right. So I'm taking a Creative Grid seam guide, and I'm drawing a line in the very center. And then from here, if you want to save time in the next step, you can just put this seam guide here and mark a line on each side, because those lines are going to be the lines you sew on, and those are actually 1/4 inch away from the center. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this very top point right here. So this line with the center line. And then I'm going to pull the center line here down here. So this center line touches right here, maybe put a little pin, and then you can just shift this to where that center line touches. So the very center line should touch the edges of your rectangles. Then you'll go to your sewing machine, and on the outside lines only, stitch. I'm using Arfil 2000 today, and the collection we're working with is Harvest Moon by Fig Tree Quilts. So stitch those outside lines, and it's gonna look just like this. Now from here, we're going to take a ruler and cut it in half on that first drawn line. And then from here, we're going to press. It's very important to follow the pressing on this pattern. This side, we're going to press toward the gray. And when you press toward the gray, this is how your pieces will look before we subcut those. You're going to make a total of 4 of these for each block. And what I'm going to do is follow the pattern, and I'm just making sure my background is here, my gray is here, following this right here. And you put your half rectangle ruler on here, and you can be up here, down here, it doesn't matter. You just need to make sure that this diagonal line is right on the seam, and that when you cut all 4 sides, you have enough room to cut. So we'll cut this. And this is going to be your left star point unit. You're going to make 4 left star units, and you're going to make sure your background is on the top right, your gray's on the bottom left, and that you've pressed toward the gray. Now that you've made these 4, let's move to the right star point units. So now we're going to be using fabric C and fabric F rectangles. On the wrong side of the fabric C, we're going to draw a line from corner to corner the other way. And you're going to follow this diagram right here. So there's your center line, and then you'll draw your 2 outside lines. And from here, you're going to line it up like this. And so again, top right, I'm going to take that very center point and just pin it gently. Bottom left, center line on the corner of the gray. So you're really worried about those center lines. Then it's going to look like this once you sew it together, so you can barely see my sewing lines. And from here, I'm going to cut that apart. And this time, we're going to press towards the background, and that is very important that on the right side, you're pressing toward the background. From here, you're going to also cut this down, and you're going to be going this direction. And you're going to make 4 of these for each block, and this is your right star point unit. And these are going to look just like this. Now we're moving to the very center of the block, and this is going to be a square and a square unit, and you're going to make one of these for each block. You're going to take 4 fabric A squares, draw lines on the wrong side, corner to corner. You can use this ruler or the other ruler we were using previously. And from here, you're going to put on 2 opposing corners. So you're going to place the squares on opposing corners, and you're going to stitch directly on the line, and you're going to press this toward the background. And that's how it looks. Then you're going to take your last 2 fabric A squares, put them on the remaining 2 corners, stitch with a 1/4 inch seam, trim a 1/4 inch away, and you're going to have this unit, and you're going to make one of these for each block. So we've sewn 4 left star units, 4 right star units, and 1 square and a square. Now you're going to add also your fabric D squares, and I'm going to show you how to lay this out. You'll start with obviously your square and a square in the center. And again, each block uses 1 print and 1 background. So you will lay these squares on the corner. Then you're going to lay a left and a right. A left and a right. So the easiest thing to do when you're assembling this is to take a left unit and a right unit. They're going to nest, your seams are going to nest, they're just going to click right together. Sew with a 1/4 inch seam, and you're going to press that open. Once all of those are assembled, you're just going to put your block together, and all of these seams will be pressed open. And the beauty of this is all of your seams are going to nest even when the blocks touch, because all of these seams are going to nest. So this is how the block looks finished, and this is how it looks pressed. And this is our free Autumn Stars block. And the best thing about it is the pattern's free. All you need is the half rectangle trimmer by Fat Quarter Shop to complete it. The Autumn Stars block is so beautiful, and I love the effect of these really cool points. Now this is a more advanced pattern, but we like to be able to bring you beginner patterns, intermediate patterns, and advanced patterns. If you have any questions on this block or the quilt, just put them in the comments section and I'll answer them. And make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.